Good evening or good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. I am Aaron. We're back to Garblag Games Warhammer Wednesday with session one of the Sins of Talagaad, where we're going to give Cubicle 7's new Warhammer the Old World a spin and see how we like it. So my players are going to introduce themselves, their character.
It's a good start when that happens, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh,
Dan M, you're
Shall
gonna
I-
do your
shall I
introduction.
crack on? Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, he's back. He's back.
He's back. Right,
Yes,
good
go
evening,
ahead.
everybody. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dan M. Possibly the best Dan. Who knows? The jury's out. It's debatable, but I am. Today, we are doing another game of Warhammer the Old World, and I am playing the High Elf Lothan Sea Guard by the name of Ezezarin. I'm sure someone will come up with a shorter abbreviation of that at some point. Ezezarin is a Lothan Sea Guard, as I said. Now, this part of the Empire that we are in, this landlocked area, does actually have a high elf embassy in it, if I'm right. So Ez's daily routine would be morning. He lives in a barracks at the embassy. They don't really get out much, so it's breakfast, it's drill, it's parade, it's making sure all the weapons are clean and well kept. It's hearing reports from intelligence gathering from the night before. It's ensuring guards are on the correct duty rota for, defense on the walls. It's making sure that the doors are guarded. It's making sure that any officials who go out amongst those humans, I can't tell the difference between Bretonnian humans and Imperial humans. I've been told there's a difference. I'm not sure what it is. And so when they go out and about, we as the Sea Guard are part of the are part of the protection duty that goes with them. There you go. Thank you very much.
And what does Azarin look like?
Azarin is an elf. As I said, he is a high elf, so he's of beauty and elegance. He's got long white hair, slender features, sharp eyes. His armor and cloak is the trappings of a Lothrian sea guard with the breastplate and the scale mail. He has a spear, but he favors his bow.
And is he close to anyone at the embassy? Does he have a family, a lover, close friends?
Azarin, I almost forgot my own character name there. Azarin has no family at the embassy, but has got family here in the old world. This is not the only high elf establishment here in this realm. When he does get out, he does enjoy the company of others. He knows a hunter, general, even, who was a battle commander, who did not quite take the advice of the wise high elf, who is possibly many, 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 many years older than him. And that although of not as high a rank, still has greater tactical and battle experience than any human who walks in these lands. He's not arrogant. He simply knows that he is better. And that when you are in the High Elf Embassy, it is beautiful. There are green trees, white walls, marble, gold, golden filigree patterns, and waterfall. It's beautiful. You step out of the door, and it is a different world of mud, dilapidation, the smell. Yes. So when he does go out, he tends to find places where there is alcohol to help his what's the words, homesickness, and where he doesn't actually have to go further abroad. He can simply go from one place to another, from bar to home. And there he also met a halfling as well, Cox Flummery, who is also another drinking companion.
All right. I love it. Dan P.
Good evening, viewers. My name is Dan. I'm the second best Dan on the channel. And I am playing tonight. I'm playing Erica Schultz. Tends to go by Erica because no one cares about a low-level brigand's last name. It doesn't really mean anything. She is about 5'7" tall, long red hair, green eyes. She has a scar, runs over her left eye, down her cheek. She tends to wear heavy clad leathers and capes and stuff because it's cold on the streets of Talagaad. And when you're as poor as she is, she doesn't really have anywhere to live. So a typical day for her is grafting and grifting. You know, she's getting around the town. She tends to wake up in a stable somewhere, hopefully not with a horse standing around her, but generally speaking, that or it's out in the woodlands. She doesn't really have a bed to stay. Maybe if she's done a good enough job, she's got a few brass coins in her pocket, she might stretch to have a bed in an inn, but that's very rare indeed. So she spends most of her days looking for odd jobs of odd persuasions. It could be very morally ambiguous at times. She's quite happy to go out into the countryside and pick on a few nobles if they have to ride by, and she's pretty good at scaring them. She does a bit of work for the Green Men, which are brigands, but good guy brigands, your classic anti-heroes. And then she finds her way back into Talagaad of an evening, has drinks with her friends. She doesn't really trust people per se, and she often looks for somewhere to get a bed, and if there happens to be someone in the bar that has a bed that she can use, then she's not adverse to using it. And generally speaking, though, that is her life. She is a grifter at the bottom of the food chain, not with much to her name, but she does all right. She's happy. Every now and again, she goes outside the town, meets up with a weird wizard guy, only because he has a really large pond that she can go clean herself in. And just because you live at the bottom of the run doesn't mean you need to be smelly. And that's Erica Schultz, everybody.
I love it. I love Erica. All right, Roger.
So where do I begin? So Erwin Feuerbach lives a very tough life. So he starts his day bright and early in the morning, around 10:30, where he has to slum it and have his manservant Ferdinand bring him his breakfast. Sometimes he does it properly, but often the bacon's overcooked. And frankly, that's outrageous. So I make him cook it again. So afterwards, I do rush through my breakfast. So around 11:30, I saunter into a bath that Ferdinand has run for me. I mean, he keeps telling me that's not his name, but he's clearly wrong. So after a quick bath around midday, it's time for lunch. So people turn up. I don't know their names, don't ask. They just bring platters with various nice roast meats and cheeses on. And after that, it's time for my real work to begin. So I leave my estate, riding on a horse, surrounded by guards, because, for some reason they think I need them. I don't know why. To go meet my chums, where we really get to work. So we drink a lot of the finest wines known to the Empire. All Tillian, of course. And then we tend to put a few wagers on some of the fights. There's this bizarre elf chap that keeps wanting to challenge one of my guards to fights, and I'm only too happy because he's only a skinny elf. What's he going to do? And then, occasionally my boots do get a little bit muddy. so I have to ask Ferdinand to clean them because one must always look one's best. And obviously he has to carry a mirror around for me because if my mustache ever gets out of sort, oh, that simply won't do. And then, after a busy day of working hard, I ride back to my country manor and slum it in a rather large four-poster, king-sized down mattressed bed.
So
And that's a day in the life of the hard life of Erwin Feuerbach.
So we've met our noble, our sea guard, and our brigand. Stu, as everyone can tell, is not here at the moment. He got held up. So we will meet Stu's wood elf entertainer / pugilist named Snake when he arrives. But now that we know all the cast of characters, let's look into the grim portent that is going to bring them together. So, you swim up from the darkness towards awareness. Your body is cold, a dead weight. You're unable to move.
This is how you know we're professionals. Oh, Dan, did you describe yourself?
He did.
Oh, I think I forgot to. Never mind.
Am I back now?
Yes, you're back
Yeah,
now.
you are now.
Sorry. Let's see if we can get through this again. And I apologize for my terrible internet. You swim up from the darkness towards awareness. Your body is a cold, dead weight. You're unable to move. You are numb to all other than the feeling of a slick, tingling, burning sensation laying across your face like a web. The stench of your surroundings sharpens your mind further. The smell of cloying incense mingled with dank stone and stagnant water. The smell of old death and brittle decay. And beneath it all, a faint whiff of sewage. You taste blood in your mouth and something else, something rancid. Your thoughts begin to collapse back into the darkness as an ever-present chanting blankets your mind, but you resist, focusing on the other sounds, moaning, the drumming of nails against stone, and a single voice calling out in counterpoint to the chanting. Your vision starts to swim into focus, and you take in a circular chamber lit by a putrid green glow coming from skull-shaped sconces. Your heads loll as you try to shy away from what lays in the center of the room. You see a stairwell leading up. Do you remember being dragged down those stairs?
No, I don't.
I just assumed I got very, very drunk.
It was a fortuitous pause.
Yeah. And it could have been you got very, very drunk. We may need to find that out.
I mean, I'm not even sure this is real. I could just be tripping.
That's true. That's true. There are other alcoves along the chamber's walls. Perhaps another way out? Your eyes are led by your nose to a sewer grate recessed near the floor in one corner. But then you feel your vision being pulled towards the source of the chanting. Around you are 7 other beings arranged at the points of a star, slumped in a slack-limbed sprawl with only their terrified eyes staring back. Behind each form is a being robed in black wearing a porcelain mask, the source of the chanting. At the center of the star, you don't want to look at the center. But you see, there's another robed figure, the source of the counter chanting. His arms wave in intricate patterns with a vicious curved dagger acting as a conductor's baton. He looms over something. Is it a table? An altar? No, as your eyes focus, you see it's something much more horrific. It's the back of a man, torn open with the ribs broken out, forming a cage for a large black tome and enclosed by a massive bone lock. This horrific table is supported by 8 human arms grafted to its sides like some fleshy spider. The fingers of each hand, the source of the drumming noise you heard earlier. The chant reaches a crescendo, and you see 4 skeletons march from the gloom and grab a slumped body. A halfling. A young halfling woman, to be precise. And they pull her, and it drinks in her fountaining life. In a moment, she is no more, and the skeletons move to the next sacrifice. This finally spurs you to full awareness as the adrenaline surges through your body. You now remember who you are, and you even recognize some of the others around you. But the chanting is still weighing you down like great chains laid across your body. You know a helpless fear as the skeletons move closer. 4 beings have been sacrificed. 2 halflings, 2 dwarfs, and you are next. Then you hear a crack of thunder. No, not thunder. The sound of a black powder weapon being discharged. And you can see clean torchlight coming down the stairs. The chanting falters and dies as the necromancer, for what else could he be, yells out. Take the book and withdraw. Let the skeletons and the wights buy our escape. The remaining sacrifices have been marked. Just as he says this, and turns with the book in his hand to flee, you hear a clear voice ring out in a strong alto. Seize the book, destroy the dead, and take all the living to be put to the question. You all, having been around Talagaad for long enough, recognize the speaker as the witch hunter Grisella Brunhammer, and behind her, a cadre of Sigmarite followers. At her side is a young, bookish-looking noble surrounded by guards in the livery of the Thorn Moths. Erwin, you immediately notice and recognize this as Viscount Peter Ludnov, who is actually engaged to one of your cousins. He says to his men, after the witch hunter, you know our priorities here. As the witch hunter and her main retinue and the noble and most of the thorn moths move after the necromancer and the book, you see behind them in the stairwell a halfling dressed as a rat catcher, tossing a small bag of coins in the air.
You've lost him again.
Rat. I think he's doing it on purpose. Gets build up more of that suspense.
It's just
Let's
trying to
do
make
it.
it worse. Hi, Stu.
I know. I think we may have actually lost Aaron.
I'm back.
He's
there
back.
he is.
Here he is.
All
We heard
right.
the halfling turning
All
up,
right.
tossing a bag of coins, and that was
Okay. So you recognize this lean, scarred halfling. His cover is that of a rat catcher, but in truth, he's a bounty hunter named Basher Lost Pockets, and he works for the criminal mastermind Klaus Duvelt near the docks. Basher gives the 2 of you an exaggerated wink, turns, and walks back up the stairs. However, with the chanting stopped, you can feel sensation returning to your body, as all about you, the undead and fanatics clash with one another, with you as the prize. A group of skeletons has broken free and is almost upon you, while from behind and to the side, a group of fanatic Sigmarites and a man dressed in rags and chains, frothing spittle from cracked lips, charges towards you, screaming, Sigmar. We're going to pause for a moment and welcome Stu and we're going to hear quickly the description of Stu's character and a day in the life of the wood elf named Snake.
Yes, sorry for the break in the action there, but yeah. So hi, I'm Stu, and my character is Snake Pliskin. Wonder where I got that from. Pliskin, of course, is not his full name. His full elven name would be far too complicated for any human tongue, so he just uses Pliskin as a cut down of his full name. He is well, he's an entertainer, which we'll come to in a second. He was trained in an ancient fighting technique called Way of the Empty Fist in the forests of Lorelorn. He trained from a young age, and his studies included all the forest and the beastmen and everything around him. But he tired of that, and he set off on his own across to the east, heading east out of the forest to see what he could find. And he met a human circus and joined them as a strongman, juggler, and acrobat, and probably a blindfolded knife thrower. They ended up in Talagaad, and while in Talagaad, Snake decided he was going to stay. He met a halfling called Johnny Nine Toes, who he thought might be a bit dodgy, but he did own an inn. And he was nice, really. So they arranged to use the basement for fights, got in some bookmakers, and arranged some pugilistic events. And it's now developed in a bit of a regular event down the Dog and Duck in the arena underneath the bar. There's about 30 or 40 professional pugilists and about a dozen halfling wrestlers that do the warm-up for the main events. Some of the more well-known fighters are Stumpy Joe McGrumpy, a dwarven pugilist. Pat Bomber Roach, who again a name people may well recognise. Ken Dog Nagasaki, and another terrible play on words, Mike Gripper Tiresome. He met Alina, who's a local apothecary who takes on the ringside healing. And he basically lives above the pub in a very small room right in the attic, which doesn't have much really, just a little bed and a straw mattress. But that suits him okay. He's happy with that. He doesn't have a lot of money, but what he does earn, he fights for very hard. He's tall, lean, very defined muscles, fair-haired and copper-eyed, handsome, but he's fairly well scarred. His nose is slightly crooked, and he has a big chunk out of his left ear. He has a cobra tattoo on his chest. You'd think that might have something to do with his nickname. And each forearm, he has hammers tattooed on the back like that. And last but not least, he has a passage in Eltharin written across his back. So when he's fighting, all of these things sort of add to his image, if you like. And the Eltharin, most people wouldn't understand, but I shall paraphrase it for you because it's slightly indelicate. And it's something about knowing your mother in the biblical sense.
Now that we have met the final member of our group who's suffering through this grim portent, we bring you back to that dank circular chamber. The four of you now have control of your limbs, and as you see, a large group of skeletons and a group of Sigmarite fanatics are both moving towards you to take you into custody. What would you like to do? So mechanically speaking, players get to go first. We're technically in potential combat. As a reminder, there's a stairwell going up, but that's where the witch hunter's retinue came from. There is the alcove that the witch hunter ran through, but that's where where the necromancer ran through, but that's also where the witch hunter and the mercenaries went. And then there is a sewer grate behind you, and there may be other potential ways out, but you would have to find them.
Didn't you say there was a noble present?
Yeah, he charged after the witch hunter. The noble was Peter Ludenhoff, the Viscount Peter Ludenhoff. He is in charge of the Ludenhoff's interests in Talagaad.
So are there any like humans near me?
There's a small group of Sigmarites charging you.
You there, minion! Free me now!
You're not. You guys aren't chained down or anything. You're
Oh,
free.
we're not chained.
No,
Okay.
when the chanting stopped, you gained full control of your bodies again.
I
Do
think
we have. I'm assuming we don't have our equipment.
You have all your gear with you. They just took you from where you were at, and the chanting was preventing you from doing anything. So they didn't care about your equipment.
I think instinctively, Erica rolls, and as she rolls, uses her axe to lift the grate and goes in. Better stinky than dead, and jumps straight down the grate into the sewers.
Oh,
Well, as you move to lift the grate, it seems to be sealed. It's going to take a brawn check to
Okay.
try to lift it.
Can I assist?
And indeed, the way is
Lost you there.
the way assist works is you roll a skill that will assist, and for probably brawn. But it could be another one. You could offer up another one. And the number of successes you get adds to the number of dice that Erica gets to roll to succeed.
Would it be a strength test?
Generally speaking, I would think strength is the most likely, but you could offer up something else if you thought something else would work. So it would be strength and brawn would be the default roll.
I want to offer athletics. Would that be...
I can see that. Athletics will work. Instead of you trying to help lift the gate, maybe you're trying to help stabilize Erica so that she can put more force into lifting it herself.
Okay. What's athletics under?
Agility. So you roll
even better.
you roll your total number of agility dice, and you want to get equal to or less than your athletics.
Okay, so
can I just be motivating them? Chop, chop, get on with it.
If that's what you want to do with your turn, yes.
right.
Please.
I have an agility of 3 and an athletics of 4. So
You roll 3 dice, and you want to get 4 or less.
for the crowd, what am I rolling? What dice am I rolling?
D10s.
D10.
Of course, that was for the crowd.
Of course.
Right, 3d10. Go.
Got 2 successes.
2 successes. Very nice.
So I add that to my dice pool, do I now?
Yes. Now, Erwin, do you want to actually provide some sort of leadership or guidance as your turn? Because this is your action if you choose to do this.
Am I personally in immediate danger right now? Like in the next
Will
couple
be
of
in a
seconds?
second. Yeah, you guys are all in close range. I mean, you're in short range. This entire room is short
Okay.
range. So
In which case, he's probably going to be slightly more bothered about his own safety. So he's going to kind of stand near them with his saber and shield out.
okay. So Erica, go ahead with the additional 2 dice.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes is exactly what you needed. So this was an extended test. So you needed a certain number of successes to get, but you're able with Azarin behind you, kind of almost like a squat assist. You yank this grate up. Now you can move if you want. You can dive down into this hole.
So, like, as she sorts to go leverage it up, she goes, "Hey, Ez, what shall we put in the hands?" Leverages it up, and then instantly just jumps down. She's already said, "Stinky or Stinky alive, dead and not Stinky." She's already jumped in. It's Stinky. She doesn't care about Stinky.
And
So
it's a
she's
very
straight down.
It's a very short drop, and you land in about calf-high sewage. Uh, as you see Erica jump down into the hole that she just opened, what do you do?
I'm going with her. I don't trust these Sigmarites lots, and I don't trust, well, and the rest are skeletons. We're in a compromised position. It is not tactically sound to remain here. I don't care what you smell. I'm going in.
Excellent. And then Erwin and Snake, you see the two of them drop down into the sewers. What would you like to do?
I'm going to look at Erwin and then follow.
Okay. So you're able to, and it's like I said, it's a short drop, so I don't need any rolls. You drop down, and Erwin, what do you do?
I'm going to grab the bottom of the grate and drop, using the grate to kind of break my fall, and then drop from there at arm's length while simultaneously shutting the grate.
Okay, I'm going to need a brawn check.
Oh, Jesus.
And an athletics
Well, if it doesn't
check.
move, I'm just going to let go. But
okay, give me a brawn check first. Then.
uh,
So that's your strength, and you want to get equal to or less than your brawn.
probably not going to work. Oh, I got 2.
All right, so you're able to move the grate, and then give me an athletics check to, so that's agility athletics, to basically pull it into position as you drop down into the hole.
Oh, I thought it was like a lid rather than a slidey thing.
No, it was just a grate that
okay.
Erica levered off. But you can still potentially do it. So I mean, you're
2 successes.
all right. So you're able to yank this grate. You pull it up as you dive down and pull it over the hole. And the 4 of you are in the sewers. You can hear the scraping of skeleton bones against this grating, and you can hear Sigmarites yelling out. You have no doubt that whoever wins the contest over this grate will be following you. What would you like to do?
Yes. I'm going to try and jam one of my throwing stars in to the grate, basically, to try and make it more difficult to pull the thing open. So if I jump up and lever one in. Oh,
I think we've lost him. It's just left in a I'm listening to you face.
Yeah.
There he's back.
Damn it. I think that's an interesting idea. So give me a initiative dexterity check.
Okay. Yeah. No chance. Just bounce it off the side of it or something.
It's just the mortar or grating is there's just nothing to get purchase in. It just kind of away. So it's on it. You can't really get in there where it's jam it up.
Yeah.
You do, but as you're looking, you see these skeletal fingers, and you see this grating start to shift, even though there's some tussling up there between the skeletons and the Sigmarites. You don't think you have more than a few moments before something follows you down into this hole.
Okay, let's get moving, chaps.
Pretty certain as Erica hit the ground, she probably already started running.
I crinkle my nose just before I start running and go, oh, why did it have to be Sigmarites, and start running?
So speaking of starting to run, I need all of you to give me a survival test at -1 dice. So it's 1 dice less.
Days.
1 dice less than your toughness.
Oh no.
On a toughness pool.
This is good.
This is not ideal.
Because it's dark and you have no idea where you're at.
I got
That's
1.
not going to go well.
No, no successes for me.
Okay.
My toughness is 2. What's the skill we're using?
Survival.
So you roll 1
Oh,
dice,
2.
Dan, because it's -1.
Yep. Hey!
All right. It's 1 success. Excellent.
Don't elves have keen sight, or is that a skill he would have had to roll at the beginning of the game?
And that's a skill you have
That's
to
a
roll.
skill
Right.
I would have had to roll.
Yeah.
Or a talent, yes.
Do I have
Talent,
it?
sorry.
No, I'd
Erwin,
not up for that.
Snake, did you
got
get any
1.
successes? You got 1?
Doesn't I'm
sorry,
just trying to
what we
remember
roll-
everyone's
rolling?
talents from last time. Doesn't
so-
someone has exceptional hearing?
I
Stu
do,
had
yes.
exceptional hearing.
I do.
Stu, it's survival, but -1 dice. So your toughness score -1 number of dice.
Against survival. Yeah.
An exceptional hearing is not going to help out in this situation. So what
it
basically
It says you can fight in the dark. So
Oh,
you can
it's
blind
not. It's
fight.
not. No, that part will come up if it comes to that. But what you're basically rolling to is you're.
I got one success. I've got one success. So
Cool. So I'm the only one that did not succeed.
So you're moving the sewers, and coming to intersections, making turns. No, I mean none of you are from sewers. You're not even where you're at in Talagaad, so you're roaming through, and you're continuing to go on. While you're running through, though, I need all of you now to give me an endurance check.
Aaron, I'd like to
Yes.
make an argument for my brass status that I do know at least that shit rolls down hills and that we're going to go towards where the sewage is heading down. So following the flow of the sewage, not just randomly running.
When you get to a part of the sewer that has that slope, I would allow that to factor in.
Okay, so
So
endurance.
what we're writing endurance.
Endurance.
No successes. I'm rolling very high, which in this game is actually not good.
Not good.
Oh, I got 2.
Roger's okay.
Nice knowing you, Erica.
Who said that? I can't see where I'm fucking running.
So Snake, Ez, how did you get along on your endurance check?
I passed. Oh, endurance check. I passed by what? Yeah, I passed. Sorry, I got one success basically.
Okay. And Ez, how did you do?
I got one success.
Okay.
So if I notice Erica lagging behind, can I try and drag her along?
It is not. That's not what's going on here.
Okay.
So as you're running through the sewers, this horrible, noxious stench is building up and building in your lungs, and it's making you feel sick. Surprisingly enough, Erwin the Noble, and Ez the High Elf, and Snake the Wood Elf don't seem to be affected by it too much. However,
we were out drinking, so we don't notice because we're still drunk.
Oh, it's because you, as a fop, have got a handkerchief with perfume on it.
Perfumed handkerchief.
Yeah.
could very well be the case. However, Erica, you gain the drained condition.
Oh, great. Flipping hell.
So you cannot gain bonus dice on tests, and no tests you can make are glorious unless you spend a fate point to make them so.
Yeah.
And this cannot be removed until you're out of the sewers.
That's fine. You hear some heaving, but you can't see who it is because it's dark.
Well, I hear a feminine voice and can take a wild guess.
Now,
It doesn't sound very feminine at all.
However, Snake, with your exceptional hearing, you do hear the sounds of something behind you scrabbling up and a chittering noise coming from in front of you.
Ooh.
How do you want to proceed? Backtrack or move forward?
I think we're gonna have to move forward anyway. So I shall stride forward through the pack and see if I can't pick out where this chittering noise is coming from.
All right. As you move forward, it's very dark down here, but you can see it almost looks like a carpet moving towards you, a carpet of black fur and small teeth and worm-like tails, as a rat swarm, drawn up by the sounds, moves towards you rapidly down the tunnel. What would you like to do?
Is there anything above us,
It's
like
just
grates or anything?
No, you're just in basically a relatively cramped sewer tunnel.
How-
You haven't come across any grates yet or anything.
Roughly speaking, how many seconds have I got here?
I was going to say, how quickly can I light my lamp in the lighting kit?
That would be an action. So you guys are.
I think he's effectively about to say we have an action each.
Yes,
Right.
they're short range from you now. So we're going into an initiative phase. All players get to go first since you were aware that they were there. However, that means you got basically incidental actions and one primary action before they're engulfing you.
Then you're going to hear the rip and tear of what sounds like horrible clothing. And I'm going to wrap a bit of my own clothing around my axe. I'm going to pour some of my black powder from my black powder thing and spark up a massive flame using black powder.
All right. Give me a dexterity check. Let's see how this goes.
Burn myself.
Sets off his entire charge.
Yeah, and my first character is dead in the sewers, ladies and gentlemen.
Smoking boots.
Oh, I'm going to use a fate point to re-roll that because I need to pass this roll, I think. Oh, for crying out loud.
So you put it out. You go to spark it up, and the black powder is just not catching. Consequences are that it's going to. It would take you longer, so it does not. You don't effectively light this torch this round.
Excellent. I tried.
Next, anybody can go.
I'm going
No
to shoot
specified
one.
order. All right, with
Shoot one rat.
with
I'm
your
assuming
bow.
there's like hundreds of them.
Is it hundreds and hundreds?
Yes. Oh, there's hundreds and hundreds. But the way swarm work is, you're not really targeting one, but you do damage to the swarm. And once enough damage, the swarm breaks up.
All right, trick shot off the wall, bounce it around, magic bullet. It's going to kill multiple ones.
All right, so let's see your shooting score.
Okay. So ballistic skill, which is 4.
Mhm.
And then
That's 4d10.
lightning reflexes, stand and shoot.
Stand and shoot only applies if you aim this round and then fire.
Yeah, I'm not aiming.
After they charge. So
I'd have a shooting of 4. Yeah, so it'd have to be.
you roll 4 dice and
3 successes.
So you see this arrow just tear a large swath through this swarm of rats, and you would say at least half of the rats fall on their dead brethren and start to tear them apart and pull them away. So the size of the swarm is significantly decreased by that shot.
It's like a bolt thrower, but for rats.
So Erwin or Snake, how do you want to approach this problem?
I am going to light my lantern.
Okay. Since standard lantern, you don't actually need to make a roll for that. It's just going to make you an action to light the lantern.
Yep.
Now, it's always also important to point out here. So fate points, you can spend a fate point to get a second action that is not the same action as the one you just took. So you could light your lantern, and if you wanted to spend a fate point, you could then throw your lantern or whatever you wanted to do with it. Fate points regenerate at the beginning of every session, so there's no reason not to spend them while you're playing. However, if you burn a fate point, it does not come back. You effectively reduce your total fate points down by 1. There are endeavors that would allow you to recover a burnt fate point, but that's the difference between spending and burning fate.
Okay, now I think I'm okay with that for the moment. Let's get the lantern up and get it held high.
So the lantern is in Snake's hands and lit, allowing you to see this carpet of diseased, filthy rats scurrying towards you.
Well, I'm just going to start swiping with my saber, trying to keep them away from my feet.
Okay, give me a melee check. And they will attempt to get out of the way.
That's fine, as long as they stay away from me. 3.
They fail to get away. I rolled very high for the rats.
I'm going to use one of my fate points as well.
Okay. Oh,
I'm flailing
So,
ineffectually.
you're
Rats!
flailing around, but the rats are also just sort of scurrying and scattering.
No one taught me this in fencing school.
And since you both failed, I'm not going to count it as a failed melee attack, so you're not going to become staggered by this. But it is the rats' go. And you're the closest person to him because you're the one waving the sword at him. So, actually, they attack everybody. Sorry. A swarm gets to attack everyone in range. So they swarm around you. Rats are crawling up you. They're clawing and biting at you. You can resist. I mean, you can try to avoid this. So you can either use your defense skill, basically using a weapon to knock them off, if you're armed with a weapon, or you can use your athletics to try to dodge out of the way. That is up to you. We're going to start with Erica.
Please don't. Because apparently I'm not rolling very. I will athletics because I've got agility 4 and athletics 3, so it's my best chance of doing something. Hey, 2 successes.
So you're able, you're basically kicking them off and knocking them off before any of them can bite you. You easily are able to avoid their
I'm
fangs
used to dealing with rats
claws.
living on the streets and whatnot.
Exactly. All right. Ez, how do you manage to deal with these rats that are coming at you?
I too will be making a athletics roll.
All right.
Agility. I am agility 3, athletics 4. Oh,
dear.
bugger.
All right. So
I might spend a fate point on that.
I like it.
That's better.
Nice.
3
So-
successes.
So the rats got 1 success, but Ez got 3 successes. So you're able to easily move your body about, knocking these rats off of you before they can sink their fangs into you. Bringing us to our noble friend, Erwin.
Are there any pros or cons to using either? Because it's exactly the same for me.
Nope, not under the circumstance. There's nothing.
Okay, well, I'm already holding my shield, so I'm going to just kind of try and swap them off
Okay.
with that. So I guess it's weapon
Give me a
skill and
defense.
defense.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember, you get an extra dice for having a sword.
Yeah, that's why it's the same for me. I'm going to use another fate point.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh. So as you're trying to knock them off with your shield, several of these rats do manage to get up under your clothes or near your throat and bite down. They only do 2 damage though. So what's your resilience?
My resilience.
That'll be your toughness plus your armor and shield.
My toughness plus my armor and shield, 5.
Okay. So they're not able to wound you. However, you are staggered by this attack. These rats are up around your throat and you're off,
I'm flailing.
You're flailing a bit.
And what does
Now,
that mean?
So what that means is if they hit you again next round, if they're still here and the rats hit you again next round, or if some new enemy comes up and hits you while you're staggered, if you're going to be staggered a second time, you either have to fall back or give ground, that is, which move to a zone where there aren't enemies if you're able to do that, which in this circumstance might be tough. You might not be able to. Your second option is to fall prone, which puts you at greater risk from enemies if they're using melee combat. And your third option is to take a wound. So at the moment, you're just staggered, though. Bringing us to Snake.
So we've got some rats to kill, have we?
Well, you've got some rats to
dodge.
avoid. Yeah, they're attacking you now. So you can either dodge them using athletics, or use defense to try to knock them off with your weapon.
Now,
or with your
I've
land.
got acrobatics, which apparently allows me to move very nicely and very lithely, I believe, through things and around things, even if they're blocking my way. So does that help at all?
Not in this instance, because you're defending. Now, if you
Too
were,
many of them. So
well,
can I use athletics to dodge them, move through them
Yes.
and around them?
Yes, you can definitely use
Excellent.
athletics to dodge.
Excellent. In that case, that is what I will do.
So
And I'm
where
sorry-
acrobatics comes into play is if you wanted to give ground, like if you were staggered and wanted to give ground, you would be able to give ground even though there were enemies around you. You could get out of trouble
I see.
regardless.
Even though there's nowhere to move, technically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're acrobatic, enemies don't block your movement.
Yep.
Not even when you give ground, so you can slip past them with ease, or flip over them, or whatever it is your skill is at acrobatics.
Flipping over them, of course.
Of course.
Right. So I've got 2 successes.
That is more than enough to knock these rats free and away, or knock them off of your body and move around the swarm as it's coming towards you. Which brings us back around to the top of the round. However, Snake, with your incredible hearing, whatever was coming up the tunnel behind you is almost upon you. And you can see in the lantern light skeletal bodies moving into range. So they are in short range with you and would be able to move into close range. It's difficult to tell how many there are. They seem to be almost a wall of moving bone following you down the sewers.
Okay. I shall well, looks like we've got company behind us as well. Well, doesn't it? It sounds like we've got company behind us.
Well, you can see them now in your lantern light too.
Get ready for a fight.
And this brings us back. So it's the top of round 2, and players control the initiative at this point.
We need to push on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So you can
That's
retreat.
what I'll do. I will push on. I will carry on trying to get through these rats.
Okay. How do you want to attack the rats?
I think waving the lantern in their faces is probably our best bet, isn't it?
So just using the light to try to...
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I've got some candles in the lighting kit as well, but I'm not sure that we are in a sewer, aren't we? And there is a great potential for a terrible accident down here with a lit
Yes.
lantern.
Yeah.
And gunpowder.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of those sort of improvised sort of attacks. I would say that this would be based on your understanding of the wilderness and wildlife and trying to use this light and fire. So it's going to be toughness, survival.
Yeah. And does my woodcraft have any bearing on this?
It's your lore, so I think this is what actually in this circumstance I would give you +1 dice. So you're leveraging information that everyone would know to a degree, but so I'll give you +1 dice against them.
Okay, all right. Luckily, I'm the toughest elf on the planet. So
your toughness 3 then.
Yeah, exactly. I know, which is quite funny actually. But I got 2 successes, Aaron.
Okay, that's more than the 1 they got. So for damage, it gives you, I'm just going to say this is you base 1 damage plus the 1 success level you got over it. So for a total of 2, which is enough because they had basically you had to get 5 successes to exterminate the swarm. So by slashing this lantern around close to them, you panic the rest of these rats and they scurry away from the light. You think possibly also it might be the oppressive feel of the undead creeping up your back that might have impacted them a little bit as well. But they scurry off, leaving the skeletons behind you and an open sewer tunnel before you. What would you like to do?
Can we see
Alrighty.
the skeletons? Those of us
Yes.
that can't see in the dark.
Yes, because Stu's lantern is lit, so you now
We
have
should
enough light to
leave.
see in short range.
Can I try and shoot the nearest one and then tactically redeploy?
I mean, you could shoot and then move, but you're only going to be able to move into medium range, so they would still be able to catch up with you on their round.
But if I didn't, could I move twice?
You could take a
Yes.
maneuver to run, and then you would get to long range, and then it's just sort of a race.
I see, but would Stu get left behind at this point?
Absolutely.
I see.
So Snake would be on his own. Snake moved off. He moved off a little ways, but you would definitely outpace him.
I'm trying to decide what Erwin would do in this situation.
Human noble against well, I mean, you do know
I do
Snake.
know him,
Snake
though.
is, I mean, he's a sporting rival, but he is somebody that you know.
I think Erwin's going to kind of curse under his breath at this point. He's going to shoot a skeleton and then move, trying to not leave Stu behind because he begrudgingly knows him.
I like it. I like
And
it.
he does make a good drinking buddy sometimes because he just can't handle it. Look at him, so skinny. Okay, so shooting.
And this is your pistol, right?
No, I don't use black powder.
Oh, that's right.
It's a longbow.
Your longbow. So it's -1 dice because you're very close.
Can I move and then shoot?
You can move and then shoot. Yes.
Would that make my life easier?
Let me double check that. And for everybody at home, this is our first foray into this, so I need to double check the longbows. All right, longbow, two-handed. Yeah,
Longbow's medium long.
Yeah, medium long. So if you move, you'll be fine.
All right, I will move and then fire. But given my rolling, I'm probably more likely to hit Stu than help him. Oh no, I got a success.
All right. See
Whichever
skeleton.
one's in front.
You skeleton. Come on, roll.
Damage 4.
It moved its shield up to block and got 1 success as well. However, in a tie, the tie goes to the attacker in this game. So although it moves its shield to block it, the arrow gets past its shield. Give me the damage.
Damage 4.
Thank
4.
you.
So you succeed at 0 SLs. It strikes the skeleton, glances off his shield, strikes into his armor. It staggers back, but does not appear to be wounded by this.
And I'll tactically redeploy away, slinging the bow again, and pulling out the shield.
Got it.
Okay, so I'll do the same.
All right.
And show this man human how it's done.
Are you shooting at the same skeleton, or are you
I'll shoot
at
a different skeleton, so I'm making a point. Weapon skill 4.
Ballistic skill.
Ballistic skill even also 4.
Thank you.
Fair enough, elf boy.
Shooting 4.
So 4 dice, looking for 4 or under.
2 successes.
2 successes. Nice. So this other skeleton also is moving to try to pull its shield up, but is nowhere near fast enough to outstrip the speed of your bow, and you get 2 SL. So 4.
I think they have war bows, don't they, Loth and Seagull?
I have a war
Okay,
bow,
what's the damage on that?
It's base free, but the extra SL would give it an extra point of damage because for
Okay.
every extra SL, so
believe
it's 4.
Well, you got 2 SL, so you get 5 in total because it got 0 on its defense. So, this arrow shoots past the first skeleton, strikes a second skeleton in the skull, and its skull explodes, and the spine kind of shatters, and it just falls into a pile of bones. As you're looking that direction, you can see that there's about 5 skeletons left standing in total. As they move towards you, Erwin. I mean,
Erica?
sorry, Erica. There's too many E's. Erwin, Erica, and Ez.
Yeah, we have gone for a very E heavier. You got to change your name, Snake.
E snake, a snake,
Snakey.
snaky.
Sorry. Well, like I've seen everybody's like started shooting and stuff. She's like not sure if she should be still running. You know, she doesn't really want the fop to be outdoing her really, so she's gonna crack off a shot at a separate skeleton. Because everybody seems to be shooting different people. So here we go. Let's have a crack at this. Wee, 2 successes.
All right, let's see how.
And because it's a pistol one-handed, she's actually got her. She's using her shield to fire over the top of.
Okay. So yeah, it tries to move its shield, nowhere near fast enough. So it gets 0 on its defense.
It gets no armor for resilience, so for testing its resilience, and the damage will then be 7.
So describe what it looks like when you cause the skeleton to explode.
It's probably similar to the elf. Hits it square in the face. You know, she used to like taking people out in a dirty manner, so not normally used to shooting people in the front, but she has shot him in the front, and his head I imagine his head more actually just kind of like smashes off, and then the body kind of takes a couple of steps and then just falls forward onto the floor.
So
and then she also tactically withdraws with her move to a medium distance.
And you all hear the crack of this black powder weapon in this sewer, and you see another skeleton disintegrate, leaving 1 staggered and 3 standing. And I believe, is everybody gone? Everybody's gone, right?
Yeah, it's their turn, and we're only at medium distance.
So the skeletons move up, but they attack sort of as a horde, going primarily for just 1 individual. So we're going to roll a d4 and we're going to see who that is. Since you're all at medium distance, well, 1 will be Erica, 2 will be Ez, 3 will be Erwin, 4 will be Snake. 4. So Snake, they hone in on the light, on the lantern, is probably what's drawing their attention. So these 4 skeletons come and mob you. And the way skeletons work is they get to assist a primary attacker with no upward limit to the number of dice they can add in the attack. So one of these skeletal hordes effectively attacks, but it's all of their actions. So they move up and they go to attack Snake.
Snake. And Snake's pretty much naked as well. Only 1 success.
Bring it on.
Yeah, they did not do well. So you can attempt to dodge out of this using athletics, or you can use defense.
Will indeed. That's my best stop. That's my best chance. So 2 successes.
All right. So they move in to strike at you, and you've got this lantern going around your head, the light's distracting them, and you basically duck out of their way and move around them, and they are scrabbling at shadows because you're no longer there. Bring us back to you all, as these skeletons are just kind of bouncing off the walls near where Snake was a second ago.
Can I try and womp the one that I shot?
Absolutely.
And that's a technical term I was taught at fencing school.
Yep, you gotta womp them.
So in the words of that Tarlight hero, go for the eyes.
Boo.
Plus 3d10. One success.
And it also got one success in defending, but once again, ties go to the attacker. So
And
you
it's
succeed,
staggered.
and it's staggered. So what's it look like when you destroy the skeleton?
Just completely over, too flamboyant. So you kind of arm up behind him, aha, lunges, hits it in the head, its head pops off, and he's like, aha, and then redeploys back away
And as soon as the head comes off,
in a slightly kind of dancing motion.
the skeleton just sort of falls back and crumbles away. Whatever was holding it together, the magic is gone, and it falls to a pile of bones.
We outnumber them now, don't we?
Yes,
Just.
3 to 4.
It matters for my character.
Although
Yes.
I'm not in the same combat zone anymore.
Oh, you're
So
not?
no.
Have you moved out of the combat
I moved
zone?
away.
So it's 3 to 3. So you're not outnumbered. But generally, yeah, that's important to remember because that does give you +1 dice if you effectively outnumber the enemies.
Yeah, I
in
didn't
the
know
you
that.
could-
Sorry, I did say
It gives me
I was backed away.
+2 dice
Yeah.
because I've got prey
Well,
on the weak.
You could let me
Well-
go first and see if I can deal with one.
Sure. With your waving lantern.
Yeah, well, yeah. Wait till you see what he's going to do. So my first maneuver then in the fight is to grapple one of these skeletons and try and get it in a throw, so I can throw it against another one of the skeletons, basically.
Interesting. All right. So that's a brawn against their endurance.
Hey. Hmm. One
How'd you do?
success.
right. So
you did well.
The skeleton got 2 successes, so you're unable to grapple with it. It's sort of you're used to grappling with something that's flesh and bones. So the normal locks and joint locks you would put on something just don't seem to work, and the skeleton is just sort of bounces out of your arms and is in front of you.
Just love the way that Dan put his glasses on. It was like an elf being like, oh, God, what do you just like very demurely put his glasses on. He's like, oh, these are
Right.
wretched humans. They're so useless.
I will shoot another one then.
All right.
We're in melee at the moment, I think.
You're in close range. You're in short
Oh.
range. So
I have I'm sure I had a thing.
yeah with
No,
the
stand
sea
and shoot.
elves. No, that's a talent. But sea elves' basic skill is they can use their warbow in short range without penalty.
Oh,
From short to
yes.
long range without
That's their
penalty.
naval discipline, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So you're good. You're good at short. You're good here.
Cool.
Yeah, that's right. The optimum range of your warbow is short to long rather than medium to long.
Yep.
Okay, shooting 4. I rolled the wrong one. Sorry.
That's okay.
Try that again. 2 successes.
2 successes is more than enough. The skeleton tried to bring a shield around, but got 0 successes. So that's +2 SL, which is 5 points of damage. So go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm going to, if this thing dies as the
It does.
skeleton's head rolls to the floor in front of the high elf, he simply takes another step back.
Nice.
Also
Disciplined professional.
Well,
Now
yeah, you are a sea guard, but I was just about to say it's also worth noting that you also gain +1 die on any melee or shooting attacks at short range.
Oh, so you would have got an extra die on that attack anyway.
Yeah, so naval discipline is your optimum range for your warbow, short and long range. You also gain +1d on any melee or shooting attacks against targets at short range.
So on 5D.
Yeah. In short range. Within short range.
range.
Yeah.
And now, Erica, you outnumber the 2 remaining skeletons.
Ah! Excellent. I'm not sure. Like, my character is not really built for melee, but she's going to have a wave of her axe. And because we now outnumber, prey on the weak gives me 2 additional dice, which is useful because I'm only weapon skill 2, which does take me to 4 dice. So let's see if I can actually hit anything. I do manage to hit something. I get 1 success.
And the skeleton is unable to block it with its shield, so that's +1 SL. So what's the damage look like?
And shield is
Yeah.
armor. Is it wearing any other armor?
Is it wearing any armor? Its body is armored, yeah. So
Yeah.
you
Okay.
get the benefit of the axe.
I get the benefit, benefit of the axe, in which case it's my strength +1, so it's damage 5 plus the SL, so damage 6.
What's it look like when you bring your axe to bear on this skeleton?
Again, she's used to fighting living creatures, so she does what she would expect to work against a living human, and she just whacks it in the neck, expecting for the axe to bury itself in the neck. Of course, it doesn't. It goes straight through what would be the spinal column, and the head rolls off, and probably bumps into the elf one right in front of the elf. She gives like a little wink at him. Don't know if it's light enough for him to see it, but she does it.
I love it. I love it. So
She
there's
does
only
not
one.
back up.
Yeah, there's only one skeleton left, and it's the one dancing with Snake, and it is going to stab out with its rusted short sword in an attempt to skewer our wood elf companion here. And so you get to either athletics or defense to get out of the way.
Yeah, I got 1 success on my athletics.
And the skeleton also got 1 success. And as we've said, ties go to the attacker. So you are going to take, what's your resilience?
It's 3.
3. The damage is 3. But I think you get resilience or under, so you're staggered. I'm going to double check that real quick.
I think that is the case. I think I remember reading that.
Pretty sure that's the case.
Combat. Where's the combat bit?
118.
If the damage exceeds the target's resilience, the defender suffers a wound.
So you are just staggered by this skeleton's attack, bringing it back around to you, Snake. You do outnumber. You do outnumber the skeleton because Erica is right there with you. So,
okay. And staggered means that
staggered has no mechanical effect, no negative against any actions you take. But while you're staggered, if you get staggered again,
take a wound.
Take a wound or go prone.
Go prone or give ground. One of the 3.
Okay, so in that case, yes, I shall give it what for, and I shall wind up a mighty punch and hit it with a haymaker.
I like it.
Love the idea of this wood elf throwing a haymaker.
4 successes.
Okay, so you easily strike the skeleton. However, unarmed attacks don't do any damage. They just stagger.
I stagger it. Yeah.
So the skeleton is staggered by your blow.
We should get you some knuckle dusters.
Yes.
I do have some actually, but obviously I wouldn't have been wearing them unless I slipped them on. Does it take an action to slip things on?
No, you can.
That's an incidental action. Most incidental are free.
Yep.
Right. Okay. I'll note that for future reference.
So the skeleton is staggered back by your blow, almost bouncing into Erica.
Yeah, Erica will do rinse and repeat and bring the axe around. We'll still outnumber them, so I get the extra
2 dice. Yep.
Oh, 3 successes.
All right. So it moves the shield to try and block you, but it's so spun around that you crush through it, getting 2 SL on it because it got 1 success.
So that I think totals up as 7 damage.
So what's it look like?
This time the head just smashes. Like she actually because she was smashed the other one, and then she's come backwards with the axe and hit it on the back end of the flat and just smashed the skull into shattered into pieces, and it kind of goes all over Snake. He's just covered in bone.
And in that moment, it's just absolutely quiet. You hear nothing but the water, the scurrying of rats far away, you still smell this noxious fumes in here, and
This book.
the rancid shit that's flowing through around your feet and calves.
Hanky
But for
comes
the
back.
moment, there's no one here. No one opposing you. So I need everybody to go ahead and give me survival checks again.
But no minus this time because we've got light.
No minuses because you've got light. And you've been
Oh, I
moving
get 2
around in
whole
here for a
dice.
while. So you know.
Flipping it.
2 successes.
I'm gonna do an extra 1. I'm
Yeah.
gonna spend a fate. I'm gonna spend a fate dice.
Okay.
Hey, 2 successes.
Nice.
It's good to spend a fate.
All right. So
No successes.
between Snake and Erica, which kind of makes sense, the 2 brass tier characters, you do finally get to an intersection where you see the water is sloping down, and you hear water dripping down, which you haven't really heard before. And you come to a grating in the ceiling of this sewer, and you smell, as you smell through it, you can smell faint smells of cheap ale and food. So you think you're somewhere. You think there's a sewer grate in the street somewhere above you.
Can I tell from the smells roughly where in Talagaad we are? Because like
Ooh.
I live on the streets and I'm using Talagaad law.
That's interesting. I kind of like that. Let's give me a reason recall with a bonus dice.
Here we go. Hey, I got a success.
Nice. So with that success, you're smelling and you're pretty sure that you're somewhere in Flustreck, which is kind of a shabby part of town. There's a lot of taverns. Snake's Tavern is probably in Flustreck. This is where your people hang out. This is where the thugs and the
This is where the
brass
brass tears hang out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we're in Flustreck. Let's
Peons.
go. Let's go. These are my streets.
No. Just ugh.
Well, you're welcome to stay down here, Flop.
Yeah.
I suppose it's
I think
better
it'll
than
be
even
worse for
this.
you. I think it'll be worse for your nose than being up there anyway. Only just, but
And
So-
Erica rushes up a ladder. I'm assuming there's probably a ladder to the sewer.
Yeah, there's a ladder up there, and this one moves fairly easily. You expect in this part of the sewers, it might be used as an underway for certain activities. So you're able to pop it open. The grate comes up, and you actually see that you're just across the street from the Boyar's Rest, a very well-known tavern in this neighborhood that's owned by a Kislevite woman named Maria Grundlers, whom she suspected to be an ice witch. But what's most notable about this tavern is that it's considered neutral ground amongst all of the criminal elements.
We couldn't have come out at a better place.
I disagree. Do I know how to get to a nicer part of town from where we are?
You may have at one point ridden in a carriage through this part of town. I mean, you know basically where you're at, and you could definitely get to a nicer part of town, but exactly where you're at in this neighborhood, you're not sure. So if you walked, regardless if you walked either east or west, you'll get out of this neighborhood. You just don't know how long it's going to take you.
Okay, I'm assuming that I know of a very nice tavern.
Not in this neighborhood, but yes,
No,
many.
I mean
very
in the
nice
town, not here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Look, get me to whatever the nicest tavern is called, and I'll get you a bath and a room.
We're not allowed on that side of town.
Darling, I'm allowed anywhere, and I can bring who I choose.
Normally, yes, but have you seen how you look right now?
Gold changes everything.
might be. I mean, they do have baths in here. You just have to. You
What,
just
with
have to have a
river
bath in
water?
front of the
Oh.
fire in the common room.
In a common room?
Yeah.
No.
They put a
No.
a shroud round. You'd be all right.
Sometimes they
shroud?
put a shroud around. Sometimes you just stark naked for
Now, where
everybody
the
to
bloody
see.
hell
Well-
did I leave Ferdinand?
Sometimes it's the evening entertainment, of course.
Did you leave your servant down there in the sewers?
I don't even remember where I left him. I got very drunk last night.
I'm not entirely sure how I got in this situation in the first place. I'm pretty sure I was asleep.
Indeed, my memories are foggy also.
That's saying something for an elf.
One thing you all four of you do realize now that you're out of the sewers and you're able to take a breath is you still feel that cloying, slick, burning web against your face. And you can actually feel each other. You can feel the other three people with you slightly, almost like a slight pull against you. And then further off, you feel a separate pull. And this one makes you feel sick to your stomach, almost as if something has laid claim to your soul and is trying to pull it free.
There are dark magics.
Is there a shrine to Tal in?
Oh yeah, there's
Talagaad?
definitely there would definitely be a shrine in the neighborhood.
Do I know where that is from here?
Give me a because this is not part of your part of town. So give me a survival check. Toughness survival.
Toughness survival.
So, cousin, are you coming in the tavern with us?
No idea.
Nah, you're. I mean, you know
I'm
that
looking
there
at the
has
high
to be
elf.
one, but you just don't know where it would be in this neighborhood.
Where's the shrine to Tal again?
Look, let's have a bath, get cleaned up, and I'll take you to your fancy places that you need to go, all right? Of course, for coin.
Just take me to the tavern. I'll get you a room and a bath.
I don't want a room and a bath. I can't spend a room and a bath.
There'll be beer or ale or wine, whatever it is you people drink.
Right. You don't live down these parts.
We should use this human's local knowledge to our tactical advantage. Okay, he knows the area, he knows the patch, despite her shortened. Sorry,
she is. We've met before. I owe you money. Remember?
You all look alike to him.
I wasn't going to say it. I was really trying to avoid saying it.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
We were all
Everybody was.
Who was going to say it first?
And we
male,
cancelled.
female.
God, yeah, that's it. We have?
Yes. No, we haven't. No, and I don't owe you money. Let's
Just get me to a good tavern, one where the bath water's going to be clean before I go in it.
There's one right
This
there,
is
and
a
I'm
good
sure if you
tavern.
pay extra.
Travel to that inn yonder, and
Yes.
You notice some people are starting to take note of you on the street.
I'm going to head to the
Most of these people are,
Erica scoops
poor.
up some muck off the floor and just flicks it at the noble and goes, "Now you're really dirty. Come on, let's go."
I turn around and just walk off in a huff.
Okay.
Oh no, he's going to get himself mugged now, isn't he?
So Arwen moves off.
I'm just moving
down the
towards
street.
where I think the nicer part of town is.
Okay. Erica, Ez, and Snake, what do you do?
He's going to get himself killed, isn't he?
I'm going to try and persuade Erwin not to do this. Look, Erwin, we think this is a really bad idea. It's quite a rough area. You're going to get yourself mugged and then you'll lose all your money. So why don't you come into the tavern, pay for the top room, and you can have your bath in privacy, probably
just disappearing into the distance by this
by
point.
some young, lovely wench.
Okay, I'm going to do a test. I'm going to intimidate him. I'm gonna walk up to not to Ez, to Erwin. I'm gonna turn around.
You'd have to run to catch up. I'm just walking.
She can run. She can run, and she's gonna hold a dagger gently to his crotch and goes, "Get inside the tavern right now." And I'm gonna use my skills, so I can use strength and leadership for this rather than a fellowship and leadership to intimidate. So let's see how this goes, because I really want to intimidate him. Only the one success. So Grim, you can Fate. You can re-roll the fails, can't you?
Yes, you can make it glorious and reroll your fails.
Oh, 4 successes! He is very intimidated.
So now mechanically, there is no mechanical effect against another player character, but
I know.
Okay, good.
but you do feel, I mean, Erica's intent to get you to go along. Whether or not it sways you, that's up to you.
I think he's just too grumpy at this point. He's especially distasteful for throwing dirt at him.
Okay.
He's literally just going to swat her to a side and storm off.
I like it. All right. Erica, Ez, and Snake, you've all attempted to keep Erwin close, but he's decided that he's had enough of you low-class individuals and has moved off. What would you like to do?
Going in the tavern. We try to help him.
Head to the tavern.
All right, so you move in, and it's a boisterous crowd. You've got a lot of activity. You've got games of chance, dice, cards going on. There's an entertainer up on a small stage with a mandolin playing and singing fairly well, with a couple of halfling jugglers on the sides of the stage, keeping everyone entertained. And behind the bar, you see this very striking woman with long black hair and ice blue eyes, who since you've been here before, you know that this is Maria, the Kislevite owner. She looks over. You all look like you've had a bit of a bother tonight. What can I get for you? And please tell me you're not going to keep this stench in my place for long.
Bath, if that's even remotely possible.
Absolutely. Go back to the stables. Give the boy there a brass, and tell him to set you up with baths. And I'll have ale waiting for you when you return.
I put down 2 brasses and thank her for her care and understanding. Because Erica knows that this is like neutral ground, and you kind of respect this lady. Because I probably do business out of here every now and again as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, and then I instantly make my way to the stables, because as I said in my prologue, you don't have to be stinky when you're poor. And so she's going to go clean herself up.
Fantastic.
Boys, you coming?
Yes,
Yeah, I need to get clean.
I think so.
So you guys make your way into the stables, strip down to take a bath, relax, let the day's excesses wash off of you.
Erica's gone
Erwin.
full Witcher, like back on, legs over the edge.
I love it. Erwin, you're making your way through. People are looking at you, but no one really approaches you. You're getting towards an area where you're getting close to like the Marketbund, the marketplace. It's very late at night, so there's the few markets that are open are probably not dealing in legal goods, but you're starting to feel more comfortable when you feel a tap on your shoulder.
What is it?
And you turn and you see a striking woman with a large black conical hat with a buckle on the front, wearing armor, with a black powder pistol that she used to tap against her shoulder, and a sword at her side. And behind her, you see a group all wearing the twin-tailed comet somewhere on their persons. She goes, I am Brunhammer. We have much to discuss concerning your interests in the necromancer and his cult. And that is where we're going to leave it for tonight, as our group will have to decide how they're tied to this black book, how they're tied to one another, what the witch hunter's plan is, and everyone else is going to have to figure out what happened to Erwin. In addition, how does the Ludenhoff family tie in with a witch hunter when they are devout worshippers of Tal themselves, not Sigmar? And is the interesting little halfling bounty hunter, Basher Lost Pockets, going to be friend, foe, or informant against our group as they try to figure out how to unentangle themselves from the Tale of the Black Tome. That's all I've got for tonight for Garblag Games. I want to remind everybody who's watching us to gives us thumbs up, comment on the YouTube, even if it's just to tell me how many rules I got wrong. All the comments help. I do read them all. I respond to virtually everything. And I have no problem getting beat up in the comment section. So feel free to hit me with that. Also, join us on our Discord, Gartopia, where we're all there. We're always discussing games and books and comics and movies and having a good time. So check down in the descriptions below for all of the links. Also, coming up later in October on Thursdays, Pete's going to return to the Game Master's chair to run Draw Steel, sort of a tactical-based fantasy game. So look for that. And if you want an extra special Garblag presentation this Saturday at 10 a.m. if you're in London, 10 a.m. if you're in San Diego, or 6 p.m. if you're in London, I am going to be back as the trail boss, and I'm going to be running a special one-shot of the game Huckleberry, which is a Weird West role-playing game that's currently on BackerKit that a friend of ours named Steven from over on the Adventures in Lollygagging has put up. I've run the game before. I've played the game. It's a fantastic, fun, Weird West game. So if you want to see what the rules look like, check us out on Saturday. And if you're interested, you can back it then. That is all I have for tonight, everybody. So I'm going to leave you with Hammerzeit and Warhammer Wednesday on the 29th of October. We're going to miss a couple of weeks because of personal business, but it'll give our players a chance to figure out what in the hell are their characters going to do now that they found themselves in this bizarre standoff between witch hunters, nobles, and necromancers. All right, Millie, if you're there, take us away.